Into the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind of... Here we go. Into the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind of... Here we go. To the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind of Dan and Dave, into the mind...
Hey, this is the Dan and Dave Mindset. I'm Dan.
How you doing? I'm Dave.
So, Dave, what's on your mind?
You know what?
Nothing.
It's holidays, and I hate holiday traffic.
Do you?
Yeah, because
Have you experienced much of it already?
yeah, I mean, it seems like, these days, it seems like as soon as Halloween is over, I mean, holidays used to start, like, after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, before that, it was even closer to, it was like 2 weeks into December, wasn't it?
Right. It was,
Yeah.
and then holiday shopping started. And now it's
I couldn't
like...
drive back then, but it seemed like...
Yeah, now it's like Thanksgiving, boom, everybody's got to, like, go out and start shopping, everybody's got to be starting to store. And it starts out first with the people that go out there and
But at midnight on
No.
Thanksgiving?
This is just people going out there. Well, it starts out with the Black Friday, which is fine with me. That's fine. I don't care. Especially now how they've tweaked it to where it's not even like 3 o'clock in the morning anymore. Now they've changed it to like they start like the night of. You know what I'm talking about?
The night of Thanksgiving?
The night of Friday. Like Friday. It used to start like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like
That Friday.
that Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they started where it's like.
Like Thursday at 8 o'clock, there was
Right,
stuff
8
going on
o'clock,
this
8
last
o'clock,
year.
that's cool. And
They started calling it Gray Thursdays. What's going
Right,
on? You hear
yeah.
about that?
And that's cool with me. I'm fine with that.
Are you?
Like I,
That's all
like
right.
I remember,
I'm okay with
I remember when we went out and had a few drinks that Thursday night, and looked over
At Buddy's in Okemos, a
Yeah,
fine place to
right.
have a beverage.
and looked over, and we could see at 12 o'clock. It was like
See what I did there?
yeah, 12 o'clock. Looked over at Meridian Mall and seeing like it,
The parking lot was packed.
more than it would be on like a Saturday
On any day.
on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And so, but that's besides the point at the moment. But it's got like right after Thanksgiving, I go to the store, and all of a sudden everything's packed.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not Black Friday. This is everything's done. All the hype is done or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you got people in the, like the place is so crowded, and nobody knows what they're shopping for. Nobody's in there intentionally shopping for anything. They're just in there browsing. Not that I'm against that.
I think we've established that you
Actually-
have a little bit of an issue with browsing.
Hey, all right, all right, fine.
Depending
I
on-
am against it. All right, fine. I'm against it. I'm against it. But it's like, why? It's like, boom. Okay, let's all show up at the store and let's annoy everybody else who's just trying to do their daily
Uh-huh.
shopping or whatever, and it just annoys me.
Yeah.
And then later on, a couple weeks later, it's the traffic that starts. Like now.
Yeah.
It's like everybody decides and I love this and hate this about Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I love Christmas, my favorite holiday of the year.
It's great.
I love it. I
It's
do. I
great
love
holiday.
it. But I remember back in the day when the thing I loved about Christmas is that you go up to the store and everybody was a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Everybody was a bit nicer.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, but I remember it.
But now it's like everybody's a bit meaner. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you drive down and now
Because you're in their way.
everything's like so, and it's like what? It's like there's no, it's a Tuesday afternoon. Do you really need to be there that much faster to go wherever you're going? I don't care where you're going, because obviously you weren't on the roads before. This is
Yeah.
my thinking. You weren't on the roads before because the streets weren't this
Packed.
packed up 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden that it's
You mean 2 months ago when the prices were the same as they are now for the same stuff?
actually probably cheaper if you think about it.
Quite likely.
Yeah, probably cheaper. But again, one of the things that I love and hate about the holiday is because I remember not that long ago, and even growing up, that I loved. There was a spirit.
Right, when it was the most wonderful time of the year.
Exactly. There was
Yeah.
a spirit about. There was a spirit in the air. It was like not only everybody was a bit nicer, but it just felt you had that aura or whatever in the air when you went to the stores because the Christmas music was playing.
It was palpable.
Yeah. The Christmas music was playing, and you just walk through, and everybody's looking around, and
man,
it was the most wonderful time of the year. And now it's like everybody's like beating the crap out of each other to get the last gift that's whatever the big thing of the year, which is, by the way, this year I think it's like a pair of headphones. I forget what they're called, but basically a pair of headphones that are like $200.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. How do you find out about these things?
It's because every year there's always something.
No, right? I know there is, but since I was like, I don't know, 14, 15, I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah. I
insulate myself though.
Well, sometimes I deduce. This year, that's what I did.
You went to stores and watched to see if people were flocking towards?
I just.
You have like a hat on and a trench coat.
Exactly. I just watched
binoculars.
Yeah, that's right. What are they buying this year?
Yeah, there you go.
No, but basically, sometimes you just spot it. Like last year, I don't think there was anything. As far as I know, there wasn't anything last year. But like back in the day,
there had to be something.
Of course there was, but I didn't pick it out. Sorry.
All right.
But back in the day, there was like the what do you call it? The gremlin looking thing.
The
what I'm talking about that. That's not a gremlin looking thing.
Popple.
Anyway,
wait, no, hold on.
Then one year there was the Elmo and blah blah. You know, every year.
Yeah, the Tickle Me Elmo was.
Yeah, then there was the Wii and blah 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 blah. Every year there's like a big thing. Everybody wants to.
What was the gremlin thing? Oh, the Furby.
The Furby, right?
Yeah,
the Furby.
Creepy little robot toy.
Right. Every year there's something that somehow I don't know how it is that they put a product out that everybody wants to kill each other for.
I think they just advertise the crap out of it.
Like you ever see Jingle All the Way?
No, but
the
concept. And
it was
Tom
brilliant.
Arnold, right?
It was brilliant.
Phil Hartman.
It was
Phil Hartman?
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was a horrible acting and all that kind of stuff. But the premise itself was brilliant. It was totally real because that's what happens every year.
It's two dads, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger
killing each other. Over...
Is it Tom Arnold or Phil Hartman?
I'm gonna go with Tom Arnold.
All right. Let's say it's Tom Arnold. I don't care.
It's definitely.
So it's these two guys. They're both trying to get this gift for their daughter, right?
Whatever.
They're both vying for this item that's sold out or something, right? Is that what the premise is? That's what I got.
I'm pretty sure it's a son because I think it's a superhero thing.
Okay, I mean, I honestly, what I remember is seeing the preview over and over again when it came out. I never watched the movie, and I haven't really, it hasn't come up since, so I don't know. But what are they doing?
Basically, it's what happens every year. It seems like, where there's like a toy that comes out that every kid wants.
Yeah.
Because the way, I don't know, whatever, how it gets advertised, but every kid wants it and they have to have it. So every parent goes out there and basically beats the crap out of anybody that gets in their way of getting this toy or whatever to their kid. Mm-hmm. And it's been that way since what was that you said already?
Furby?
The Furby, the Elmo.
Tickle Me Elmo.
The Wii, whatever a couple years ago, I think it was the Wii. And
the year that Wii came out is a big deal. They sold them out real quick. The Xbox 360 was a big deal when it came out. I don't know if those were on holidays or not, but I know people were buying them up and reselling them for.
But there's always $400. There always
400%.
seems to be something every year. I'm sure, like back in the day, it was like Evel Knievel. Everybody had to have Evel Knievel, or whatever that.
I would have given a leg for that. I'm just kidding.
No, but seriously. So and the thing is. The parents go out there mostly to satisfy their kids who are going crazy, which their kids can't wait until, let's say, December 28th to get this thing. They have to have it under the tree, which is, it's comical and
well, you got to get into too,
barbaric.
If you're trying to keep the Santa thing going, and spoiler alert, there is no Santa.
Right. And by the way, somebody, today somebody was bringing that up, which was actually brilliant. People were. I was with a bunch of friends today, and they were saying how they were shattered of their belief of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And different stories and stuff. And somebody sat there and said, I realized that when I looked at the label, it said "Made in China."
Brilliant.
It is brilliant. If you think of it, that's a smart freaking kid to sit there and say, Santa didn't make this, is in China. So,
well, could be Chinese elves.
And I have nothing against Santa Claus. I love Santa Claus because I think it's a great way to build.
It's fun.
It's a great way to build a kid's imagination.
Like, to this day, my mom still labels a gift from Santa. I'm 31 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if she knows that I know yet.
Sometimes I wonder.
Well, you can never, I try to play it safe,
But
I say that I don't believe in him just to fit in. Because all you idiots aren't getting anything from it anymore, but I still am.
Hey, a couple of years ago, I got some pretty good stuff from your mom for the Easter Bunny, so I'm not complaining.
She's got it in with the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny brings the best stuff over there. She's like, hey. Easter Bunny's like, thanks for keeping it alive. He's like, I'm giving a bunch of other kids.
I remember that, though. I still appreciate your mom for that. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But,
you have to take advantage of that more often.
But the whole thing is that people going crazy.
Not advantaged in a bad way.
Yeah. To the point of where the holiday spirit is no longer. At least when I look around and see it. I used to love going to the store. And just to go to the store because it
was so nice out.
Well, you just walk, everybody's like,
full of
Merry
good
Christmas,
cheer.
Merry Christmas. Now it's like Merry Christmas might offend somebody.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, too, Christmas is it's a divided holiday because it's not just a Christian holiday. It's also
a pagan holiday.
Well, no, yeah, I'm not even going there. I'm just saying that in my life growing up, most of the public, the overall view of Christmas had nothing to do with religion at all. It was just Christmas, which is a time where you get toys, no matter who you are.
Right.
And honestly, the only people who, I don't know, it seemed like the only people that really made a big deal about it were people who were like staunchly like, well, I don't celebrate Christmas. And then be like, well, fine. Then ignore that. And like, if you don't celebrate Christmas, who cares? Don't worry about it then. It has no impact on you. Because there are people everywhere that celebrate holidays that I don't. And if they want to do it right in front of me, I don't care. If there's not a human sacrifice involved, then what's the problem? And it's not like, and like what I'm saying is, it's not like it's something horrible that you need to be offended by it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but some people feel.
Well, look, if Hanukkah was the prevalent holiday and I didn't celebrate it, and I had to watch Hanukkah ads, like I gotta watch friggin', extends ads on TV. I'm not interested, but I'm not offended. Somebody out there wants that. So that's great. It's not, and I mean, even those ads are potentially a little racy too. You know what I'm saying? But let me find something more innocent, I guess. Okay, a Barbie doll ad. There's a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. I assume. I don't really watch ads anymore. I don't want a Barbie doll. I'm not interested in them at all. But there's a bunch of people out there that do want some Barbie dolls. And so this ad is out there for them to see, and them to be like, oh, I'm really excited about that. And for me to be like, okay, I don't care. To me, that's as intrusive as Christmas can be for somebody else.
I don't agree.
How do you not agree?
Well, because I think, not as much lately, but like back a while ago, Christmas was like,
oh, Christmas sale, Christmas this, right?
No, I'm not even sure if that has anything to do with it.
That's the biggest thing, is there are advertisements for... That's the biggest thing about it, is the advertisement. That's the thing that gets out to everybody.
Right, but...
Because otherwise it has no bearing on you, and it doesn't even
like
touch you.
Like you say in Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Growing up thinking that Hanukkah was, as a Christian, Hanukkah's his main holiday. Hanukkah, which Hanukkah is a main holiday, but...
Yeah, it's a big deal for Jews.
Kwanzaa. Let's bring up any other holiday as far as a Christian, feeling that it was like so mainstream, so centered to society, basically, might get annoying To the point where it's like, I'm not justifying anything, and I'm not like...
No, I'm not. I just...
But to the point where it's like, you know what? Why do we have to be... Why does Hanukkah... Why does this 7-candle thing have to be stuck up on this pedestal? Why is that? Why do we all have to be centered around this as a nation? You know what I mean? We're not all... This is not what we all are.
Right, but we're not all anything.
Exactly.
Except, look, the only thing that we have to center ourselves around, if you want to get real patriotic, is an American flag. Right?
Right.
And the American ideals.
Right.
Beyond that, that was the point, was that we could all do whatever. Now, it happened that there were a lot of Protestants and Catholics in this country.
Right.
And businesses were like, well, these people are going to buy our stuff.
Yeah, it's a moneymaker.
So,
yeah.
And you know what? I've never seen any of the other symbols of other holidays that are not ones that I would celebrate and been bothered by it. And
exactly, because they're not in the forefront.
And maybe that's it, but I don't think that's it, because there are things that are not in the forefront at all that bother the crap out of me. And
Christianity has been in America in the forefront, and I think people are very tired of it because it's not a Christian nation.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You're saying this is a Christian nation?
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a Christian nation. I'm saying it's not a Christian nation. I'm just saying there are tons of Christians, there's tons of Jews, there's tons of Muslims.
Right.
I mean, I'm working my way down the list of the levels there.
And all the people that are non-Christians have to look at something that is considered a Christian holiday. I mean, and it's all sent and
except that Christmas became a thing that's just a holiday by itself. It can easily be removed from Christianity entirely once you look at just Santa Claus.
Which is, I think, why they don't want it to be called a Christmas tree.
But why not? That's what it is.
Is it?
Well, look, how would they feel?
In my house, it's a Christmas tree.
Fine. Well, then, and if you're not interested in celebrating that holiday, then you don't even have a tree in your house. So why does it matter to you? I don't have a menorah here. If I did, even though I'm not Jewish, I'd be like, well, it's clearly a menorah. I'm not going to call it my holiday candles, you know? And what? So your idea is that because I feel like I'm in the majority, then I can't see what they see?
How are you the majority?
Because I'm a Christmas person.
So that makes you the... How do you know that you're in the majority?
That's what I'm asking you. You're saying that all these other people who aren't these things, you basically said they're the minority, and they have to be faced with all this.
I did not say that.
Well, then, regardless of it,
I'm saying this.
I'm saying atheists celebrate Christmas. It's not a Christian holiday to them. It's the gift-giving holiday of Christmas.
Right.
So I'm saying that, it doesn't...
Right.
There's nothing offensive about it. There is nothing offensive about it. I saw the face you made.
How is that?
What's offensive?
Apparently, somebody finds it offensive.
Yeah, people who are oversensitive.
I don't find it offensive.
Things.
You don't, but somebody does.
But all right. Here's what I'm saying.
Because Christ's name is on that. Because I'm assuming.
Really, because the same people.
I'm assuming.
I'll tell you what.
I'm assuming because Christ's name is applied to that.
All right. Well, here's the flip side of that. I celebrate Christmas. Christ's name is part of that. Mm-hmm. I am a Christian. Christ's name is part of that.
Right.
Now, there are a bunch of people who don't agree with me on these things, don't agree that Christ existed as a person, don't agree with any of that, who will go ahead and yell Jesus Christ about something they don't like. Mm-hmm. That offends me.
Okay.
But I don't tell them they can't do it. And I don't tell them that they have to do it differently. And in fact, the only ones who generally do that are the ones who don't agree with me on this topic. And so I resent them telling me what I have to do. Because I don't bother them about the things that they want to do. Now, what do you got?
I just wonder if that applies.
It totally applies.
Because
this actually was the crux of my... All right, hold on. this was the crux of my point in the whole thing, was the fact that everybody else is allowed to be offended, but I'm not allowed to be offended.
Right.
And that's wrong. Why aren't I allowed to be offended?
I'm wondering if the whole, like, how are you offended?
I'm not. Wait, how am I?
You said you're offended.
In that case, I'm offended because you're using my Lord's name in vain.
Okay.
But I get that they don't. That it's not. He's not their Lord.
Right.
And it's just a word to them.
Which applies to this.
Right.
So that why should they consider this?
It's fine. They can call it a holiday tree if they want.
That's what I'm saying.
But don't make me call it a holiday tree. That's all.
If they're not.
I know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In your house,
okay.
it's a Christmas tree.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I've been with you on that the whole time.
Okay.
But I've been trying to explain.
Like, in God we trust. In God we trust. On a dollar bill shouldn't be there.
I don't say it shouldn't be there.
Why should it be there?
Because it's been there. It's tradition at this point. Let it go.
Okay. Well, then it should
At
still
the
be
time,
called a Christmas tree.
There's an argument. Okay, if you want to go that way, there's. All right, here I can make an argument for this. Hold on.
Because half the nation, well, let's say, let me generally speak, half the nation does not believe in God. So why should "In God We Trust" be on the dollar bill?
All right, here's what it is. If you go to another country, any other country in the world, and they've had a thing that they've done the same way they've always done it, the odds are they're not going to change that. If it's something that minor.
What do you call the euro?
That's not the same thing. And some of the euros, I'm pretty sure, have some God things on them. I haven't translated them all and read them.
I'm sure many nations outside of America are very more Christian than we are.
Well, I don't know. I don't know one way or the other. I don't know if this is entirely true.
Very more? Much more.
Very more is fine. I don't know how much of this is accurate, right? But what I'm finding out...
This is brilliant, by the way.
What?
This.
What we're doing is pretty good. We've hit a stride here.
Exactly. Wait,
we are basically ignoring the microphone now, which is what we wanted. Because I'm definitely saying some stuff that's going to rile somebody up.
So am I.
And I'm looking forward to it.
I'm doing devil's advocate over here. Did you notice?
Are you?
Have you not noticed?
No, I thought you were arguing with me.
No.
I thought, because look, you're going to push...
I agree with you, but somebody's got... We can't sit here and just, like, agree on bashing.
You're like, that's a good point.
Yeah, we just can't bash.
And then just be silence.
You know, I'm making a point.
I'm not bashing, though.
I'm saying if we both were, then I would think it might be considered bashing.
Well, actually, so far I know we're only, like 3 of these in, but so far I noticed the pattern starts with us complaining about something, and then we move on to something.
What are we praising?
We end up praising stuff later.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you praised me last time, and then I probably praised you somehow, some way. But okay. All right, you want to here we go. The euro is what I was talking about. Okay.
I was talking about.
Yeah, and I was replying. And then you said this is brilliant. And then I said what is? And you said this. And I'm like, you mean what we're talking about? No. And you said and
the euro.
Okay. And I said the euro. This is basically from I've been doing a lot of crossword puzzles for the last year, right? Because as I'm getting older, I'm afraid that my brain's going to fall apart on me.
Man.
Yeah, well, and
my mom and dad would do one, and I'd be like, huh? How'd you do that?
My dad does some that I look at them. I'm looking at all the clues, and I'm like, no, I don't know. And I go all the way through. I get to the end, and I'm like, I have no idea what the answers to any of these are.
Yeah, my mom would sit
I'm like,
there.
that one's 3 letters. I don't know.
My mom would sit there with a paper and do them I mean, she would take her time, but still.
Yeah, it's still
it was
in comparison to you, she's doing it like she's breathing.
I love my mom
you know
so
what I mean?
much. Oh, my goodness. I miss her.
Yeah, you going to see her over the holiday?
Yeah. The
Christmas holiday?
Right.
Yeah. All right.
The holiday?
Right? All right. No, that's No, but so there's all these euros. It's the same currency, but from what I'm understanding, only from information that I've gathered from a few crossword puzzle clues, this could be just me misunderstanding. But it seems like they all have, the ones from the different countries have different things written on them. That's what I was getting at.
The euro, you mean?
Yeah. Like, there'll be Spanish euros, and they spend the same everywhere, but these are the ones minted in Spain.
I did not know that.
I don't know if it's true, but there were clues in some of my puzzles that have led me to believe this. I should probably go ahead and research this more, and then maybe I would be able to do harder puzzles afterwards. But at this point, I'm at probably moderate puzzles. I don't know. I'm getting them.
Is this book?
No, it's on my iPod.
Oh. Is that an app?
Yeah.
You gotta show me that.
All right.
I love crosswords, man.
Yeah. Well, what I'm starting to feel like though is that because there's a lot of like Oreo is in like 75% of them. They're like 3-tiered cookie or like, and it's 4 letters. So I'm like Oreo, and they're like cream-filled dessert cookie, and I'm like Oreo. Turns out it's pretty common. And I don't know if it's just because I'm doing puzzles that are a little too easy. But, I mean, there's 3 vowels in it, and that's useful. I can see how they would pick that a lot.
Not many crosswords I've done that have only 4 letters.
Sometimes there's 4 letters. I have a lot of them that are like 11 letters and stuff. They're a little harder.
So your rant was where?
My what?
The euro.
Did you say my rant?
Your rant.
My aunt?
Your rant. Your rant.
Yeah, so anyway.
Where I come from is called an aunt, so I wouldn't call it an aunt.
Yeah, alright. Sorry, my bad, I forgot. No, I'm just saying that, like, look, okay, if you went over to Israel, right? If you're born now in Israel.
You get a shekel.
Forget about the money. Just saying, 20 years from now, you're over there and you're looking at...
From now. Or back then.
Whenever. 20 years from whenever you're born. You're an adult, and you're like, I don't like the way you guys have been doing things around here. You know? And they're going to be like, who asked you? We're going to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, In God We Trust, going back to the money,
okay,
has been on our money since that money was printed, whenever they started putting In God We Trust on it.
Right.
That's been that way for a long time.
Yes.
The only people who read that stuff are the same little, like, drama activists that I've been complaining about.
Drama activists?
Yeah. We're going to be like, I don't trust in God.
Wait, drama activists?
Yeah. Yeah. People are going out of their way for drama. For the sake of drama. It does not affect you what is written on the money. The little pyramid with the eye over it. If you've got a theory about it, so what? It's still worth $1. Maybe less depending on who you ask. Alright? Who cares? The funny thing is...
Some people do.
Alright, here's the funny thing. I mean, I've heard people who feel like there's some kind of satanic message going on with that pyramid. Mm-hmm. While on the flip side, it says, In God We Trust. Mm-hmm. You can get all worked up about it, or you can just go, buy some gum.
Get a quarter. Where it has that, doesn't have it on there.
And then there's that evil bird on the back. That's my point. Is just that, like, everybody's too worried about the things that are offending everybody. It's not, because it's not just things like that. It's you go into the store, and like today we were at Meijer, right? Mm. And we're at the checkout rack, and there's, I don't know, 10 magazines on a rack, right?
Cosmopolitan.
And there's Cosmopolitans covered up by a piece of blue plastic.
Did you ever look under that one?
No. But if I had, I'll tell you what I would have seen. Here's what I would have seen.
Nothing.
At worst.
Cleavage,
probably. Right? But somebody was offended by that and was like, you need to cover that up.
There's kids in there.
Sure. But there's cleavage everywhere in the store already.
That's true.
It's walking around in real life in front of you.
That's true.
There was that chick in the, she was wearing stretch pants that left nothing to the imagination. I'm just saying. Is that better or worse than the blue plastic covered up Cosmopolitan issue of a photograph that is probably highly photoshopped. So, where is the person covering that girl up that was walking around with blue plastic?
In the Middle East.
Right. I mean, wow, that's really gonna. This is gonna get way too complicated now, but my point is just that everybody needs to lighten up a little bit.
It ain't gonna happen. It's just gonna get worse.
I don't know. It's weird because it gets worse, but at the same time, all the wrong stuff gets to get through and be okay.
Exactly.
While stuff that doesn't matter at all gets covered up and hushed and like shamed.
Right.
There's no reason why a Jewish guy should be able to come up to me, like if he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Happy Hanukkah," and I say Merry Christmas back to him. There's no reason either of us should feel any shame.
Right.
Because we're wishing our best to each other.
Exactly.
It's, our best is that's overboard, but
Well,
we're wishing good things towards
Well,
each other. Merry Christmas is not the best I have to offer, okay? Maybe in this...
It's a good generalization.
In this month, though. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, though. You know what I mean?
Okay. And then what?
And then what? Neither of us should feel shame for what we just offered to the other person.
Right.
Because it comes from a place of love.
Right.
So what's the problem?
Yeah. You can't do that these days anymore.
Can't just love?
No.
Free love is out.
How can you do it? What are you going to say to anybody these days?
Hey, hi.
You're so good.
Even that, you're looking, you're cruising
so
for a
good
bruising.
looking. And then you go to jail for harassment.
Right?
I agree. I agree with you on. What can you say? What?
Were you just playing devil's advocate, or did you not agree with me until now?
This point, I agree with you.
Along with many other points, though, right? You did agree, and you were playing before, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Son of a...
No, seriously.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
What do you do at this point in we'll say America? Like, you can't walk down the street through a holiday and say, what do you say? Happy holidays. And it's so...
it feels fake when I say that.
Just genuine?
It is. I'm not giving...
Like, happy holiday... What?
Look, here's what it is. If I go up to somebody when I would
Happy holidays, I'm holding back what I really feel.
Right.
So
if I go up to somebody, I'm a person who would be more comfortable saying Merry Christmas to you and having it mean something good for you. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, it's whatever. And again, I say that if a like-minded person to me
Merry Christmas. You don't say that to me.
Right.
Don't shove that on me.
If a like-minded Jew came along and was saying to me, he wouldn't exactly be like-minded because he would be more interested in not Christmas. But if he came up to me and was like, "Hey, Happy Hanukkah," and for him, he's giving me, and I'm like, "Thank you, Merry Christmas."
Do they say that though?
Well, they don't because they're downtrodden and
no. For
I don't know.
I'm just wondering because what's Rosh
Hashanah?
Rosh Hashanah.
I think that's a Jewish holiday, but don't quote me on that.
Because I'm sure they have greetings for...
Dude, those guys have a whole bunch of holidays.
And I mean, I'm not saying it to be
because
insulting.
I don't.
Well, they have many. I mean, they have.
Yeah, but
Passover. That's what that is.
Yeah, look, I've already been in trouble for not knowing enough about Judaism before, so.
It's a free country.
Yeah. Look, I was in when I was in Maryland, I was hanging out with my cousins Angie and Tommy, good Catholic people. No, they were.
Catholic and good don't go together.
Easy, no, don't. Shh, people will be. No. We were hanging out with some of their friends and this girl Laura, and we've worked this out now. So, but the first time I was hanging out with her, and she's Jewish. And I was excited because I knew little or nothing about the Jewish faith. Pretty much everything I knew about being Jewish came from Fiddler on the Roof. Great movie. But
great movie.
The information was probably a little dated,
I don't think so.
I mean, it's a period piece. They didn't go into a lot of detail about it. I learned some very good things, which made me respect things, And I was personally coming from a place of respect while I was asking her about her faith. Okay? But I was surprised by some of the things she was telling me, and so I came across incredulously.
Wait. How does it begin
All
from
right.
the beginning?
So we're all sitting around. We're in this pool, and I'm like grilling her because I'm like, I want to know. I just wanted information from the source
About Judaism.
Right. I'm like, so what's going on? And
I mean, I'm limited as far. I mean,
right. We both are.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her though, and I was fascinated. Is the thing, and I was being a little passionate while I was talking to her because I was seriously really interested, and it really took me a long time to convince her of that. Like, it was a few years later when I saw her again, and I found out that she thought I was an anti-Semite, and between me and my cousin Angie and her, we had to like talk together and like iron that out, because I'm not. I'm talking to her though and asking her about everything. I'm asking her about a bunch of stuff because I was like, she's got to be a good source of information.
Devout.
Yeah. And she's telling me about, we got talking about a bunch of stuff, and we got into, what the afterlife is. And she was talking about
Sheol.
Yeah. And I'm like, so that's it? And she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, what happens to bad Jews when they die? It was so foreign a concept to me because I didn't know. I thought that every religion had.
I mean, they go to Sheol as well, but they just.
It's like not as good for them or something.
It's like a negative.
Right.
Because as far as I know, back, the Jews want to be better off their children, so they want to make life better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they did the best they could.
Yeah.
And if they did that, then they'd rest in Sheol.
Mm-hmm.
And if people screwed up and did something wrong, whatever, I'm assuming they'd also be in Sheol, but just not
At peace. Yeah. Right.
I could be totally wrong,
but you know what? That does sound about right. And as an adult now, I can appreciate how that is akin to hell.
Yeah.
At that age, I don't know how old I was. I was pretty young though, and it just didn't make sense to me without the fire and stuff. Angie told me later. She's like, "Yeah, she thinks you're totally anti-Semite," and I'm like, I'm like 15. I'm like, come on.
Really?
Yeah.
That young? I didn't know that.
It's between 15, at most 17, but I was probably like 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
And I'm like, seriously? I grew up in Eaton Rapids. There are no Jews there at all. I've never knowingly...
Would live in a Jewish neighborhood.
No. I've never spoken to a Jew, as far as I know, to be able to get first-hand information. And I was just fascinated. That's it.
Peace.
I have no opinion. You're like, look, the idea that I would despise her and her people because they don't have a hell was just outrageous to me, because I don't even feel like I kind of went on a long thing there. I hope it was information that you appreciated, Dave. Just so you know, though, I'm going to, unbeknownst to you, devil's advocate the crap out of you one of these days. You're not going to see it coming. So what do you got for us?
Had to be done. What do you mean?
What, had to be done? All right, maybe. I mean, I see the point there. I just didn't realize that was what we were doing. You were defying me and backing me into a corner, and I had to fight with more ferocity to get out. And when I do that, I have to be careful, because sometimes I go extreme in a way that makes sense to me but not to anybody else. And then I do fall into the danger of, I guess, potentially being extremely offensive, saying something that, if other people were to go as basic as I was going when I go extreme, it makes sense. But there's a weird little balance there. You know what I mean? Did any of that happen? Just forget all that. What were you going to say? This will come up someday, and I'll be able to be like, "That's what I was talking about." Be like, "What I just did, what I just said, that was me being. You got to be in a very specific, mindset to understand it."
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So what?
I was just curious, actually.
Is this about Jews?
No, it's not.
Because I've told you everything I know about Jews now.
No, seriously, I was curious about talking to you about this. A musical topic.
Oh, all right. That'd be a good change of pace.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean,
so we went real heavy on the.
I know you're heavily influenced from the Beatles.
Yeah. As I feel most people should be.
But I also.
That'd be boring. Maybe. Could be awesome. What?
I don't know where the hell it's going with that.
Just start over. So you know what?
Give me a second.
All right.
So I was reminiscing in my head, as I usually do.
It's a good spot to do it.
Yeah, and we're our close friend, both of ours, Sergio, was getting married.
Yeah,
in California.
That's good times.
And
we have stories.
Yeah. And we flew out there, and
we flew out there like
yeah. Well, we flew out there and blah blah blah, and I just found it interesting, the comparison of me being from the East Coast, Massachusetts, where a lot of people are very high strung, and like go, that sort of thing, and like New York. I'm gonna assume it's an East Coast thing where people are very on the go and like not relaxed, and it's just one of those things. And I've been down to North Carolina. I've been down to Georgia and Texas and stuff like that, and it seems to me like this is the part that doesn't make sense to me, because I would sit there and say, it seems like the more south you go, the more relaxed people seem to be, the more laid back they seem to be.
Too much.
The more south you go. But here's the thing, when I moved to Michigan, which is not south, it's west.
Yeah.
And it's not even southwest, it's basically straight up west.
We're basically as north as you get.
It's from Massachusetts, and I realized that in comparison where I'm from, it's much more laid back.
Yeah.
Than Massachusetts.
Okay, yeah.
And
those real Southern people would disagree with you at all. They'd say we're high strung here.
To the Midwest people, you mean?
No, I mean.
What?
I mean Southern people, talking about people from, even us in Michigan.
That's, yeah, right.
Yeah.
To the Midwest.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Anyway, so my,
What did I say they were idiots?
No.
Did I say they were dumb?
No.
I said something derogatory about Southern people. It's just actually two people that I'm thinking of particularly, who I don't know their names, but they bothered me.
Anyway, so and being a East Coaster, I know the feeling of being
high strung,
an uptight kind of person, where it's like
wicked uptight.
Yeah, wicked uptight. Yeah, that's yeah. And they coming out here, because I come out here, I live out here, basically. But I always go back out there to visit my family and stuff like that. When I leave here and go back out there, I realize how high strung everybody is. Like, everybody's like boom, 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 boom. Like the traffic, everything is like when I drive here and then I drive back there, I'm like, you guys are, why you? And then I drive it, and then I finally get back in the flow of it, driving back there, like how I drive back there, and then I come back here and drive, and I'm like. I feel like I try and compensate, because I'm like, drive back here and I'm like, I need to, like, I want to cut in front of everybody, and then I'm like, wait, anyway.
Well, I mean, again, my only East Coast experience is Maryland, right? Driving around there.
Right.
And it is totally different.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care.
Right.
They just...
Yeah,
you're in the way.
Yeah, you hit like, New York and Massachusetts, and...
That, I mean, I'm sure that's even more different.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, when I, it's like it comes to my mind all the time when I'm driving here, and like you're driving like say half a car or a car length away from
Yeah,
somebody
we
on the
like to keep
highway.
a car length at least, yeah.
Right. There, it's like
Bumper to bumper.
basically bumper to bumper, and it's like you're driving NASCAR. And I'm not exaggerating. You can ask anybody. I mean, you know, that's the way. And it's not.
Yeah.
On
freeways and everything.
Yeah, it's not.
So I've only driven on freeways that way, like late, and there weren't. That many
and you're
cars.
not being a jerk. You're driving. I mean, you're driving.
Yeah, it's how you drive.
That's just the way you drive. It's all it is.
All right.
You know, and anyway, so when we took that trip out to California,
Yeah.
and I was thinking like we're going all the way
All the way
to the West Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, totally to the West Coast. Thinking I have no idea what to expect. They were like, I don't know if you felt this, but they were even more laid back.
Really?
That's how I felt.
I didn't
mean,
actually.
like, I remember going up to the when we went with Ben and Crissy up to like shopping and stuff like that, where they were all like, they just wanted the cashier just was like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? What's going on? You recall that?
No.
All right. Screw you.
No. What?
I remember Crissy and Ben, even the Crissy and Ben living there, were commenting on that.
Really? I don't know. I remember. I remember like restaurants we were at and stuff. People being pretty calm, and I don't know. What?
Remember that time we went to that one restaurant?
The In-N-Out Burger?
Yeah.
You mean where you offended somebody?
I
actually I was almost gonna ask if that's what you were about to talk about because
I forgot about that. Till you
dovetailed nicely into what we were gonna talk, what we've been talking about.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna bring it up though, just in case.
Yeah.
That was just you didn't know.
I didn't.
I don't know how you didn't know because that was like the reason for the
and
name
I didn't.
change.
I didn't realize until I think you and Sergio. I mean, we went to an.
Well, we were both. What?
Where were we? In-N-Out
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you guys were sitting both across from me.
We were across from you.
Right.
The window was behind us.
Right.
We could see into the restaurant.
Right.
And we could see the young Mexican girl behind you
Yeah.
mopping.
Right. Mexican girl behind me mopping. And
Yeah.
this is California.
This is California.
Which is, the terminology doesn't really apply here, I guess.
It doesn't really, because it doesn't come up.
Unless you're talking about the coffee shop.
Right, the coffee shop that supposedly changed their name for the reason that it was...
I said that.
The hype was that this coffee shop, which is now called Biggby, changed their name because their original name, Beaners. Was an offensive term in other places where they plan to expand to.
Oh, is that what I didn't know that.
But most people around here obviously didn't occur to us.
Yeah.
We heard Beaners and we thought coffee shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I never heard it before. I mean,
right, but it was ingrained in you that
Right.
this is a coffee shop.
yeah.
And
Sitting there across from you and Sergio, having no idea this woman is behind me, it doesn't matter if she's behind me or not, having no idea
around there it was definitely an offensive term.
Yeah. Having no idea what was going on, and
Yeah.
so for me to just sit there and literally wanting
Coffee.
a particular type of coffee.
Yeah. A beaner style coffee.
Yeah, to sit there and say and wonder if there's a beaner around here. And for you and Sergio, especially Sergio, to literally drop his jaw and say, looking at me saying, do you realize what you just did?
Dude, if you had seen the girl's face, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Because her jaw dropped, and she looked upset, and she stopped her work and walked away.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You said, hey, are there any beaners around here? And she's like, she was pissed. And she stopped what she was doing and walked away angrily.
All I remember is seeing Sergio's face.
I know, I was like...
And I'm not laughing because I think that... I am laughing because it's funny.
It is, yeah.
But I'm not laughing because I'm laughing at her. I'm laughing because
Of course, yeah. The situation...
I'm laughing at myself.
I get that, because I laugh at you over that story. Because, like, that was at a time when we were all still getting used to the transition to the new name.
Right, exactly, yeah. It just changed.
It had just changed.
Right.
We were all used to calling it Beaners.
Beaners.
What were you talking about, though, before? You were talking about Sergio. You wanted to say something about Sergio.
No, that was it.
No, this was a side story. I feel like you were going to talk about him more. You lived with him for a little bit, right? Did you? Didn't you live down there? For like a couple months?
Yeah, down in,
Royal Oak?
No, not Royal Oak.
Rochester?
No.
Hills?
Shoot. Dearborn.
Yeah. Dearborn.
But Dearborn, Michigan, which Sergio DiMartino.
You were with him when he bought that guitar, right?
I was actually, yeah.
Yeah. Which he then sold to me, and I waited about a year to pay him for it.
Yep. That was $25 he paid for that.
He
Right?
paid $25? Get out. Because he charged me $60 for it.
No, he paid like $100.
Did he pay like a couple hundred?
Yeah.
At least? Yeah, okay.
I remember literally having no place to go and calling Sergio. And, I mean, we knew each other,
Yeah.
but we weren't tight.
I always remember
But we were
feeling
tight
like that was odd.
Huh?
I remember being surprised by that, too, actually.
It was great. I mean, we knew. I mean, you were always closer to him than I was.
Yeah, that's
And,
true.
And I think I left Michigan, went back to Massachusetts, and I was in Massachusetts. I was going through a hard time.
You were thinking about not coming back to Michigan, right? At that time.
No, I needed to come back to Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I was like, I need to get.
So you were stuck out in Massachusetts for a little bit.
I wasn't really stuck.
Okay, not stuck, but
But I was going through a hard time and talked to Sergio. He's like, hey, just come on over here and stay with me. So I basically got on a train, and he picked me up at the train station in Dearborn.
Yeah.
And I started staying with him. And that's when he was working maintenance for that apartment complex.
Yeah.
And
Just telling us all about refrigerators and stuff.
right. And I'm trying to think of what was his dog?
Galen.
Galen. I'm trying to think of Galen was there. I'm pretty sure Galen was there.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Galen. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, and I mean, it was awesome. I mean, just hanging out down there with him, and cool part of Dearborn, which I'd never been to, which is basically the Muslim capital of the U.S. Which was not a bad thing, because I mean, cruising around, I mean, they're very, very cool.
At least of Michigan.
Very cool people.
Yeah.
And
It's very PC of you to say.
yeah, but I remember hanging out down there and just hanging out. Hanging out with him, and then going to, because I played drums and he played bass,
Yeah.
and he had his acoustic bass. I think he had another guitar,
I hope he still has that.
and we would go to this guitar shop that was down, sort of down the road from his house. We'd go there and hang out, and like I'd play the drums and stuff like that. They had some sweet drum sets over there,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just sit there and and they would let you get up there and play. Like a lot of places won't let you do that.
Yeah.
And I got up there and I just started jamming. And they had this guitar room, and he would go in, and he bought this acoustic.
This one surprised me because it's a Squier. It's a Squier acoustic guitar.
Inexpensive.
I had the only experience. Well, the main experience that I'd had with Squier guitars, being Fender's version of Gibson's Epiphones, basically, was that they were cheaply constructed and everything. They just sounded bad. But this one was very well made, and it sounds great. I remember when he was about to move out to California and he had to get rid of it, I could not pass up the opportunity to get a hold of it.
Take it down and play it.
No. All right. I mean, it's not going to sound like anything we were doing. I mean, but yeah. But it just has. It's not really in tune very well, but right now, but. You gonna do something with it?
What is it? I made a bad.
Baby did bad thing.
Did a bad thing.
Feel like crying.
dying. Mama said to me, go back there. Mama said to me, go back there. It's a bad, bad thing. Bad, bad thing.
Alright. So anyway, that's Sergio's guitar. I should just name this guitar Sergio. That'd be a good nickname for it. I haven't named any of my guitars, but how you name this one?
It'll be interesting to hear that. How crappy I sound I know.
Ah, easy. Easy, big fella.
Did a bad, bad thing.
We've recorded much worse in the past.
Dreamweaver. I believe
We've never recorded that until now.
We just did.
But yeah, his wedding was great. It was a good
That
time.
was never been anything like that before in my life.
That pretty much everything about that trip were this singular experience upon singular experience.
Wait, I'm seriously curious about this. Now, when they had the
Dragon or tiger thing come
they
out?
were tigers, right? They were not lion. I mean, they were not dragons. They were tigers, right?
I think they were tigers.
Because everybody, I always hear people sit there and say, like in the phrase, that there are these dragons. They're dragons. They're tigers, right?
There are dragons too, like that. It's a person. What? Right. The person is up in
and they got the mouth.
There's the big thing with the mouth.
Right. That
big
takes
head
the money.
with the mouth.
It's a New Year's thing.
That's a New Year's thing because they were married were married on Chinese New Year's, right?
Exactly. Right.
Okay. And then there's like the body section, and there's two people inside this thing.
That was so brilliant, so awesome.
Right?
Because they had the guys in the back with the drums, and
it was really cool. It was great. They might have been dragons. They might be tigers. They were short.
I don't think they were dragons.
I've seen things like that I'm pretty sure are called dragons, but it's like there's like 8 people inside of them. Right. They're super long.
Let's text Sergio right now.
All right, what is it? Midnight there? That's fine.
Don't forget, I don't think I have his number. You do.
All right,
well, I have his old one.
I'm not gonna.
Who's got the real number?
Well, last time I texted this number, nobody responded to me. Let's just try it.
I got Alex's number.
Hey, at your wedding, were those things that took money from the crowd tigers or dragons? Send. All right.
All right. I'm gonna text Alex.
That was great. Best wedding toast I ever gave. Best Bay Harbor Bridge I ever seen. Best Golden Gate Park without a bridge that I ever saw. How disappointed were you in retrospect about that, by the way? Because what happened was we were staying at Ben and Crissy Brown's.
Right.
Tom.
That was a long ride.
Yeah. What?
That was I don't
up to San Francisco.
Was I disappointed?
All right. Yeah. All right. We were staying with them. Ben and Tom wanted to go shopping or whatever. And Dave and I really wanted to go see the Golden Gate Bridge because we'd never been out there.
Well, not only that, but
seeing San Francisco and all that, we'd never been there.
The
BART,
the carts.
Oh, hey! Oh, now he responds to me. He didn't respond to me last time I texted him. Neither. They were lions. It's called a lion dance.
See?
He says.
So I was sort of right.
I'm saying no. That doesn't sound right.
Tell him we're talking about you right now in your podcast.
All right, I will. He'll next time.
Next time.
Yeah. So what was the long ride?
The trolleys. That's
those are cool. Although were those? Yeah, those were trolleys. Yeah.
Right.
Chinatown was awesome, but we wanted to go to we wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Right.
And we stopped.
John Denver.
Expect the Golden Gate Bridge to be a little more golden.
Right.
Where
are those pictures? Do you have those still?
Yeah, they're on. I put them on Facebook.
I don't have them.
You have access to them. Wait, all right. What is he saying?
Oh. Now I got Alex.
He said, it is. Deal.
Now we got Alex. Neither lions. Whoops.
We're talking about it on our podcast. I don't... Yeah, they didn't look like lions to me. You said they weren't lions.
I said they weren't dragons.
You asked if they were tigers, and I was like, yeah, I think they might have been dragons. You said, we can just go back and listen
yes,
if you
we
want.
can.
Oh, yeah, well, we're
All
not
I know is they weren't dragons.
You said, I don't think they were dragons. I think they were tigers. And I'm like, yeah, they might have been tigers.
Right. As long as they're not dragons, I'm good.
Fine. I didn't think they were dragons either, because they were too short. I was saying that in Chinese parades that I've seen on television...
Well, I think some people think they're dragons.
Who?
People.
I mean, there's only a handful of people that we know from there, so I feel like you're talking about
people in
specific
general
person.
think that the whole thing is dragons.
I mean, I'd never... Look, I've seen these parades, right, where there are these things controlled by 8 to 10 people.
Which is brilliant.
Which are dragons.
Yeah. Right.
Okay? But they're really long. And I was told that they were dragons.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
But it makes sense. I'm like, yeah, okay. And these ones here were 2 people. Very short. I'm like, I never heard of dragons that basically would be giant tadpoles. Short. So, yeah, I was willing to go along with lions or tigers. But you were very much pushing the tigers.
Not my bad.
Yeah. So, thanks. I appreciate you taking the fall for that. So Sergio says, I see.
What'd you read him before that?
I said we're talking about it on our podcast. He says, I see. Wow, not so excited now, huh? Alright, here's what I'm going to tell him. I'll save the story of my toast for when you guest star? Guest star? Is star the right word? For when you are a guest on our show. Alex, right back to you?
Nope.
She's probably right there with him.
I know.
He's like, I got this. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Actually, I haven't really talked to him about that toast ever since. I've never talked to him about it, actually. So I would definitely love to save that. Because I would love to have his feelings on the matter. Find out what he was thinking about it, and then tell him the story, and then see how he feels about it still. Huh?
I was looking at my wife. I don't know.
What?
I was just looking at my wife. I'm sorry.
He was, too. He was so fixated on it.
Where was I?
I assumed you were at the table. Were you...
It's a joke.
Were you in the wedding?
Yeah.
You weren't an usher, right?
I was next to you.
You were, right?
Yeah, I was a groomsman.
So we walked up, because I walked up...
What the... Dude, that hurts me a lot.
Why do you have a show?
Because we got it like that. Tell him we want his laugh for an intro. That'd be awesome. It would be good.
Just his laugh?
Yeah, the Dave and Dan show. The Dan and Dave.
Oh, he says I'm a little jealous.
He already wrote that on Facebook.
He did.
Tell him
I'm going to say, well...
We want your laugh for an intro.
I'm going to say, for the love of comics, never took off.
You're out.
So you're out. That's not what I was going to say, but that's great. Alright. We can't really just spend a few minutes talking about what we're texting to people, though, I don't think. Alright, yeah, because I had Tasneem, right?
Oh, yeah,
she was the maid of honor, right? And then...
I was right next to you, dude.
You were right next to me, so you had... Shannon?
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you asked me any other time, I would know her name right off the bat. I would be confident.
That's her.
And then, what was the other girl's name?
Who cares?
That's not cool.
They were all white girls after that.
No, they were... No.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Uh-uh.
Pull the picture up.
Alright. You talk about something here.
Shut up,
That's not good enough.
That's what editing's for.
Fine.
See? All white
Yep.
girls.
So the non-white girl there, who you're calling all white girls, is Marissa.
My bad.
I'm a little irritated that I couldn't remember her name right off the bat, but if I was just thinking about it on my own, I would have remembered. I guarantee it.
I forgot there were 2 Asians in there. My bad.
Well,
2 Asians.
that's probably really loud.
I'm sure it is. It sounds sexy.
Baby, I'm talking about 2 Asians here. I can't get enough of you.
Oh no, but they look Asian. No?
What? Who's that from?
Cable guy.
Been a while, sir. So that was fun, though. So yeah, we met. We went.
Well, we were going down there to meet Shannon, right?
Yeah, because she worked down there, and she was gonna kind of give us an idea of where to go.
Right.
And so we rode the BART up.
What's the BART?
The Bay Area Routine Transport. I don't know what it stands for.
Okay.
Riding Tusk
The train?
train. Yeah, I don't know. It's called the BART.
Oh.
That's what it's called. So we rode that up, went to the Bay Harbor whatever, and we got our picture taken in front of the Bay Harbor Bridge.
What'd he say?
He said, in response to me saying, I said, Dave says he's pissed you don't talk to me anymore. Your wife does, but you don't. He says, BS, we talk all the time. We're talking right now.
Alright, I'm done. I'm done with you, Sergio.
So, get up there. We all meet at that wharf or whatever. There's the statue of Gandhi out there. Remember that?
No, I don't. Actually.
There's a big statue of Gandhi. It's in the pictures. Mohandas or Mahatma. I don't remember. One of them. One of the Gandhis.
Mama Hama.
So, did we go to Shannon's work before or just after? I think, yeah, she came down to where we were and met us, and we ate together.
Hey.
And then we walked back to her work with her.
Oh, yeah. And that's when we saw the guy in the mirror?
I don't know what you're about to say, but...
The homeless guy on the street. Basically had an apartment on the street, the corner. Remember that?
Man, he had everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. She was with us still, right?
No.
Was that after we left?
That was just me and you.
We were like, what the...
This guy's got an apartment on the street.
Yeah, and he was like jealous.
No,
I'm just kidding.
he wasn't even there.
I know.
He left, and it stayed there.
Yeah.
That was his place.
And it wasn't even like it was tucked away. It was up against the street.
Yeah.
It was like right
It was up against a light pole.
up against the light pole at the edge of the sidewalk closer to the street.
Yeah.
Where you would think people would be like, we gotta get this stuff out of here.
Yeah, no.
But he got to keep his place, apparently.
It was the opposite. It was like, we cannot disturb this.
That was it. I remember that. And so we got confused about the difference between a cable car and a trolley. I'm still not sure anymore because it was really mixed up about it.
I'm still confused about that.
Because you were saying earlier we went on a trolley, but I think that might have been a cable car.
Right. Yeah.
Because a trolley was something else.
Yeah, you corrected me while we were there.
I didn't. No, Shannon corrected both of us. She told us what it was.
I don't care.
I'm confused still. I was probably confused then. I don't know if I don't know. So we ended up that we took, the pictures of the vehicle that we were on. I should probably find that picture and be like, hey, anybody tell me
I don't
what
care.
this is.
Whatever that vehicle we were on
It was cool.
was what I wanted to be on.
Me too. Yeah, that's the one I wanted to be on as well.
Where, go down the street and it can't turn around on its own. It has to actually go on a... Remember that? It had to go on this, plate to turn itself
Were we on
around.
it when it happened?
No, we had to wait for it to spin around.
Really?
To go back the other way.
Okay, I don't remember that.
I do.
So
And then we stopped at Chinatown. We jumped off in Chinatown.
I bought that, right? This little guy right there. And that.
Yeah.
These things that I see every day from that, what was that, 4 years ago now? That was end of 08, right? Or no, it was January 2009, right?
But I remember that vividly.
That was a great trip. And so we're trying to get...
I was totally trying to hang a picture.
What?
I remember vividly.
So we're trying to get to the... Anyway, the point is, Man, we're slowing down in a big way. This is it after this one. We're trying to get to the Golden Gate Bridge. We finally decided to take a bus
To get to the Golden Gate Bridge.
get to Golden Gate Bridge.
Figuring.
We're like, where are you going? They're like, Golden Gate Park. And we're like, perfect. Assuming that Golden Gate Park was connected to the Golden Gate Bridge. We get to the Golden Gate Park and find out it is nowhere near the Golden Gate Bridge, which would have cost us another like $20 or whatever to get to.
We were on that bus for
Forever.
hour and a half.
Felt like a long time.
We're like, woohoo! We're on the way.
Yeah, we're gonna go see the Golden Gate Bridge. So it turns out, no bridge anywhere nearby. We took a bus back to the BART with our heads hung low.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Oh.
And yeah, then we headed back to Ben and Chrissy's. Wow. This is really deteriorated on us. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Dan and Dave Mindset.
Peace.